We're going to ask Pris a few questions now about her life, and she looks better than me anyway.
Oh, gee.
Pris, you're from Biddeford, Maine. I've been in Fort Kent almost 50 years. How big is that, Biddeford, anyway?
Well, in my days, it was quite the little city of close to 25,000, I'd say. And the mills, 3 mills, Pepperell Mills, Bates Mills, and Sokolol shops were all busy producing cotton and sheets and whatnot. It was a very prosperous little town.
Textile mills, huh?
Yes, my
Right
father worked there, and my sister worked there.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yes, she worked in the office, but Dad was...
I don't think your brothers worked there.
No, they didn't. No, they worked in... Well, my brother Roger went in the Navy, and my brother Bob always worked in stores, like managing stores in town.
Yeah, he managed what used to...
Days Jewelry.
Days Jewelry, and then Zayre's.
Oh, yes, Zayre's in Saco.
Yeah.
And then he was transferred to Waterville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, he passed away at the age of 48, so...
Yeah.
Too bad.
Now, Biddeford was a predominantly French?
Yeah, I'd say it was 75 to 80% French in my days.
You would speak French on the street?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
And in the stores and everything?
Oh,
like
yes.
It was just like... Well, the St. John Valley used to be like that, too. So the French people there, they came from where?
They came from the province of Quebec. Not far from Quebec City. Some say La Beauce, I'm not sure. But Saint-Romuald, wherever you would figure that is, it's not that far from Quebec City.
Yeah.
My grandmother and my grandfather, on both sides, came from that area.
Yeah, Drummondville and all that.
Drummondville is another one that was between Quebec and Montreal.
Yeah. Now you went to school there with the nuns. What kind of nuns were they? Bon Pasteur.
Les Sœurs du Bon Pasteur. Yeah, if the same nuns they had in Van Buren.
Okay.
Yes, and a lot of these nuns actually were born and raised in Van Buren. Some of my teachers.
Is that right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So you had a connection to the valley before you met me then.
Yeah, but not realizing it. Not at all.
So what school was that you went to?
St. Joseph High School, St. Joseph Grammar School and High School. And the high school was, half of it was the boys, and it was called St. Louis High School, taught by the brothers. And the other half was a girls' side, and it was called St. Joseph's. And of course they would separate us because they were so afraid that we, would
now,
waste our time.
Is this the same building you're talking about?
In the very same building, yes. And what the nuns would do, because they were so afraid that we'd flirt with the boys, that they had shades in the glass doors separating the two. And of course we'd go by and we'd kind of just flick the shade up, so we get a glance at the guys, and the guys did the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Which was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a little bit exciting.
Oh
there,
yes,
huh?
and after school we'd meet. They couldn't stop us then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
Now you worked while you were going to high school?
Yeah, I worked part-time at a department store owned by Mr. J.D. Boucher. I was only 14 years old as a freshman, but he hired me because he knew my mom, who had worked for him even before she was married. And then my sister, who was 16 years older than me, also worked for him. And so when I came to apply, he said, "Yep, come on over." So I did work for him all through my high school years.
So this was right downtown Biddeford, huh?
Right downtown. If anybody knows Biddeford, there was the Puritan restaurant right on the corner of Main Street and Alfred, and the next door was J.D. Boucher.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you, the wages were not very high.
Yeah. How much were they?
Well, for every day from let's say around 2:30 to 5:30, and Friday till 9 p.m. and then all day Saturday from 9 to 5:30. I would bring home $12 for the entire week.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You don't remember how much per hour you were paid?
No, I don't. All I know is I would bring in my $12, and it was very common in those days to help out the family with expenses, and so I would give $10 to my parents and keep $2 for my own expenses, and that was fine because everybody else, all of my friends were in the same boat.
Yeah.
So it was okay. It was a different world then.
Well, I think it was like this a lot of places, you know. As soon as you could, you'd help the family.
Oh, yeah.
While you were working at J.D. Boucher department store, you probably came across a lot of Quebecers as customers.
Oh, yes.
You have a story about a bathing suit
especially in the summer.
Yeah.
They would come to Old Orchard Beach, which was about 3 to 4 miles from Biddeford.
Yeah.
And they'd do a lot of shopping in Biddeford, and I was working there at the store and in the department where they were selling bathing suits and all kinds of things, dresses and aprons and whatnot. So this customer comes and she wanted un maillot en écossais.
She was trying to show off her French.
Absolutely, and I was so lucky that week. I had learned in school that a maillot was a bathing suit. And écossais meant plaid, you know, Scotch plaid. So I answered her, "Vous voulez un costume de bain carotté?"
Why?
She was so surprised, and I was so proud of myself for knowing enough French to block her a little bit. It was fun.
Well, that's good. And maillot en écossais, that's the first time I ever heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're graduating from high school. You're the valedictorian.
Wow.
And you had to make a speech.
Mm.
In French or English?
It was all in French. We had 4 speeches, and 2 were presented in French and 2 in English. And the valedictorian was always in French, because that was part of our education, you know.
Yeah.
And my speech was all about Franco-American life, education, name it, religion,
yeah.
work ethics, all that. It was quite long, 15 minutes, and I had to learn it all by heart because the nuns would not let me even have little cards to peek once in a while.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh yeah, they were very strict, I'll tell you.
Now you, because of valedictorian, you earned a scholarship?
Yeah, I earned a full scholarship to Revere College in Nashua, New Hampshire. And I didn't take it. In fact, the salutatorian, the second of the class, did not take it either. The third one finally did. That was the honor essayist. And the reason why I didn't take it is I was the youngest of 4 in the family. None of my siblings had ever gone to college, and they all had very good jobs. And I thought, why do I deserve to go to college, you know? Jobs were plentiful in those days, and so I didn't. Today I think of it and I'm sorry, you know, I should have taken the advantage, but it was not that important at the time. So I passed it up. My life would be very different. Most likely I would not be here in Fort Kent had I gone.
Could be.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work there. So you come out of high school and you go to, you have all kinds of jobs, huh?
Yeah, the jobs were very plentiful in those days, and so even before I graduated, you know, in my senior year, I started applying, and I remember applying at Deering Lumber for an office job, Mill City Chevrolet Garage, again, for an office job, and then John Hancock Insurance Company, and I finally decided on New England Bell Telephone Company. I felt that that was more fitting for me.
What did you do there?
Well, I was a teletype operator, which meant that I typed up orders to send to the different departments in the system. And then I was also trained to be a teller, where I would substitute once in a while when they were gone on vacation. And once in a while they'd send me to Portland also to substitute people on vacation, where I would go on bus because I didn't own a car.
Mm.
Yeah, so that was a good experience too. It was fun.
Yeah. Coming back to school there, you said you typed. So your education at St. Joseph High School, you were ready for almost anything? You had the classical course and the commercial course?
The nuns would not let us choose anything because their theory was, when you're in high school, you really don't know what you want to be in life.
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared for everything. So I was taking chemistry and biology, along with shorthand and typing and bookkeeping, and name it. There were no free periods. You'd go to school from 8 until 2:30, you know,
Yeah.
and it was straight 15 minutes for lunch, and that was it. No.
You had French and English and
French and English and Latin even.
Yeah.
And history and geography and name it all. They had them all.
You didn't waste your time there.
No, I guess not. It was hard to keep up with it though, but.
So then you went to work where after?
Well, I went to New England Bell after
Yeah.
high school, and that's where I.
Yeah, but I mean, you went to Iowa.
Oh, well, after that, yeah, then you and I, after 3 years at New England Bell, decided to get married. And you were in college in Davenport, Iowa. So I applied at Northwestern Bell in Davenport, and they hired me. But they didn't need a teletype operator, and they didn't need a teller. But they needed a service representative. And so I agreed to that. And they trained me. It took 6 weeks of training. And then for the rest of the time that we were there, that's what I did.
Now, did your French background come into?
Yeah, it kind of did. You know, I never appreciated my French too much because I was born and raised with it and took it for granted. But when I got there and they found out that I could speak French, and in Davenport there were 5 different colleges at the time, and all of them had European students. And these Europeans could speak 3 and 4 and 5 languages, and French was always one of them. So if they had trouble with their English, they could speak to me in French. So they gave me the front desk for that reason. I was very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah.
Remember how much money you made every week?
Oh goodness, over there, well, in Biddeford, I remember earning $60 a week. And then when I switched to Northwestern, I kind of upgraded there, and they made it $75 a week. And that was enough to pay 1 month's rent for us, for you and I, Mark. Our rent was $75 a month. And the rest of the week, I would take care of the food and the clothing and whatever. Yeah, we made it though.
Yeah, we were brought up in a Catholic atmosphere. Almost every day we had something to do that related to the Catholic faith. Same thing for you in Biddeford, huh?
Oh, yes.
And in Iowa we continued that. If you remember, we'd go to... The church was right across your office.
Yeah, St. Anthony's Catholic Church was right across the street from the telephone office. And you, during Lent, you took your lunch hour from school and walked down the hill, picked me up at the telephone office, and then we go to church every single day during Lent. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
We were really, really good Christians
Yeah.
and Catholics, and I don't regret that at all.
No.
Nope.
Didn't JFK, President JFK, campaign there in your area downtown where you worked?
Yes, he did. He was running for president. That was against Nixon, wasn't it, at the time?
That's right. This is 1960.
And they paraded down the hill right in front of our telephone office. So everybody in the office went on the sidewalk to greet him. And so I extended my hand enough that I was able to shake hands with him. And boy, what a thrill that was.
Yeah.
You know, hey, he was quite the guy.
I remember I saw him too, and he was a good-looking man.
Yes, he certainly was. And a few years later, his son John came to Fort Kent. He was campaigning with his uncle Ted Kennedy, who was also running for president against, who was
Well,
it?
he was running against President Carter
Yes.
on the Democratic ticket.
Right.
And he sent his nephew John to Fort Kent. Imagine
Yeah.
that. We met him at the town office.
Town office, and you and I have a picture that I think maybe you showed already
Yeah, I think so.
of him, and he had big bushy curly hair and
Yeah.
very, very handsome,
Yeah.
like his dad and like his mom too,
Yeah,
who
his
was very
mom
good
too,
looking.
yeah.
Jackie.
Well, those were good days. We had a lot of fun. And anything else you'd like to say?
Goodness, I think I've said just about everything. All I can say is I've enjoyed my stay here in Fort Kent. It's been a great place to raise my family. They've all succeeded well, and I'm proud of them, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you very much. I hope we have a lot more years here in Fort Kent.
So do I. Okay, bye.